I'd been nicer to Dad, he never would have left. I've read articles about the psychological impact of marital breakdown on teenagers, and this isn't how it's supposed to pan out. My daughter, Natalia, should have been blaming herself, not her shell-shocked mother. When my husband walked out 2 weeks earlier, I'd told the kids that their dad was away working, but my endless sobbing and the post-it notes stuck to my forehead asking passers-by to please apply alcohol intravenously told them otherwise. Tally was adamant that I'd driven her father away with my endless niggling about where he was going and whom he was with. Even though it's pretty clear that Jasper has officially forfeited his chance of winning Dad of the Year, I say little in my defence, not wanting to badmouth him. I just take it on the chin. Okay, the double chin. Gosh, Tally, if only I were young enough to know everything. But pain and anger bubble beneath the flippant surface of my words. Oh my God! Is that my top? Tally regards me with slant-eyed hostility. How dare you borrow my clothes? She hisses, so as not to disturb her 10-year-old sister Ruby, already asleep upstairs. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times not to go through my stuff. It's pathetic. Until Jasper walked out on me, I'd tended to wear the kind of baggy dresses you could use to slip-cover a small island. My wardrobe, mostly bought from catalogues, comprised vast shirts to cover up wobbly bits. I was planning, one day, to have my buttocks taken in, and pedal pushers to hide leg stubble. But this was the 3rd time in a week my teenage daughter had found me squished into her clothes, setting out to the city to win back my absentee husband. I mean, just look at yourself. Tally is standing to attention, one foot turned out like a ballerina. Her hands move agitatedly at her sides, as though ruffling an invisible tutu. It's like beyond sad. I glance into the mirror above the hall table. What I see makes even my passport photo look good. My hair, dull blonde and centre-parted, curves around my jaw like a pair of parentheses, making me the unessential aside. My once pretty pale blue eyes are pink and red-rimmed, like a laboratory rabbit's. Livid semicircles under both eyes give me the appearance of a neurotic possum. My hastily applied lipstick has bled into the tension lines around my mouth, and there's a dismal dab of it on my eye tooth. Mirrors can't lie, but they can be smashed to pieces once the kids are at school, I decide, flicking my gaze floorward. My daughter sighs. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. Her voice is clear and adult, and self-assured as she turns, disgusted, on her Ugg-booted heel. Sheepishly, I trail Tally to the kitchen of our rented Surfside accommodation in a South Sydney beachside suburb. It's vintage Brady Bunch, with breakfast bar and cheery tiles and kangaroo clock whose rotating tail points to 9 p.m. She's been making biscuits. Since her dad's unscheduled departure, my oldest daughter has taken to obsessive baking at all hours of night and day. One morning in May, over breakfast in the leafy London suburb of Hampstead, Jasper had announced he'd been offered a job opportunity in Australia with the Football Federation, coordinating coaching for the international and youth teams. He would move to the Antipodes for a year, while I stayed in England with the kids. But I insisted that we let out the house and travel with him. The experience would be enriching for the girls. We would be part of a trend. I told him how nearly 200,000 British citizens had packed their bags for Australia in the last year alone, the highest number to leave since the heavily subsidised mass emigration down under in the 1960s. Jasper tried to talk me out of it, but our marriage was curdling like milk on a stove, and there was no way I was going to take my eyes off the pan. And so we decamped in July, at the end of the English school year. Our oldest daughter, Tally, detested her posh North London private school and was happy to uproot.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.